1, 2, 3.
Bust it.
Power Connect Show. Power Connect. Power Connect Show. Power Connect. Power Connect Show. Your reliable program that gives you all the information you need to know about the power sector, professionals in the industry, electrical products, government agencies, the stakeholders, and many more. Power Connect Show.
Oh yes, it's another Wednesday, beautiful Wednesday in the city of Lagos. Good evening, my wonderful listeners, wherever your location is. Are you at Ajah, Apapa, Badagry, Lekki, Mosho, wherever you are? I dey talk to una now. This na the program wey una dey wait for. Power Connect Show don reach. Na our turn o. 4:30 p.m. every Wednesday we are here. You are welcome. My name na Banji Busari. Of course, you know I'm always here. But you'll be wondering, where is that man, ABC, who always starts the program? I tell you that ABC is unavailable today for good reasons. But his signature is all around today's program. When I go to hear his voice and he impress himself, though not physically, you are welcome. My name is Banji Busari once again. Today on the program, we are bringing education to your doorstep. So they say with knowledge, you can conquer mountains. How much knowledge do you have about the meter you use in your house? It was installed and you have started using it. But do you know that with much knowledge on the handling, you can protect the meter, you can ensure its integrity, you can ensure its efficiency, and you can equally ensure its durability, all with your knowledge. So we'll be having a classroom in the studio today. All of you will be partakers, and there will be question and answer after listening to the lecture. Yes, you know I won't do it all by myself. Now me just introduce the program. I have veterans on the program today, people will get boku knowledge about meter, about electricity. Those who know a lot about the use of meters, how to protect meters, how to ensure that it serves you very well. Have you experienced burnt meters before? How can you avoid it in future? Today on the program with me, I have a veteran in the studio, a great stakeholder here. I'm talking about Mr. Pekun Adeyanju. It's my pleasure to have you, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Fusari. It's my pleasure to be here today.
I know say them go learn because the thing you fool your head. Now the only thing you don't do all your life.
We will try our best to educate our customers, and that's why we are here.
Yes, before I unveil the other segments of the program, I'll go on a short break now. When we return, it's still Power Connect Show. You are welcome.
Dear Ogbonge Eco Disco customer, abeg make you go our website www.ekedp.com/sts and enter your current meter number to check whether your meter qualify to upgrade to the STS2 version. If your meter qualify, we go holla you back. But if you not qualify, you fit apply for new meter and the EKEDC go return the meter money to you over time. If you experience any wahala, abeg make you contact our customer experience team through the email or phone wey we provide. This na public service announcement from EKEDC. EKEDC, na we dey empower the quality of life.
Oh yes, just as I'm celebrating our wonderful listeners, of course, our great sponsors, the backer for this program, I cannot but continue to celebrate you. I'm talking about EKEDC, the leading utility provider across the nation. Of course, you are number one. No, nobody feel contest that position. I know, say you are always there serving your people to the best of your ability. Now we'll be launching the program. You need to know how much people know, and even ask yourselves, how much do you know about the meter where you use for your house? We don't go town, we don't go do research, we don't ask people whether the meter where they use for the house, whether they know anything about itself. Now you'll be listening to voices now the tori wey we don bring from the field. Na we go show you, we listen, we go roll now where you go see. Say people no know much whether you are one of them or no know. So let's go to the studio and hear what people have to tell us from the field.
The place of meter as a vital component in the electricity supply chain cannot be overemphasized. With a well-functioning meter in place, the customer can rest assured about the accuracy of the bills received from the service provider. The absence of meter, on the other hand, usually triggers a strained relationship between the service provider and the customer, as it usually results in disputations and controversies about the genuineness of the bill being served. This important role of the meter will, however, be difficult to be achieved if certain necessary care and caution on meter use is ignored. But how much knowledge of the workings, peculiar mechanisms, and necessary care needed to make meters function maximally does an average meter user have? We sampled opinions from some electricity customers.
All I do is to buy once the light finish to recharge.
Okay.
That's all I do about meter. Any other issue, will contact the PCA. That's all I know.
Okay.
Right. What I know about electricity meters. Electricity meters are actually one of the way to know the rate of electricity we're actually using to avoid the exorbitant of crazy bill, as they call it. Electricity meters are actually the aspect of, okay, for PHCN not giving us huge amount of money at the end of the month, because if there's no electricity meters, PHCN will just come and be giving us 100,000, 120,000 naira, the money we have not used for. That is why meters is very, very important to have that in the office or in the house, and to avoid paying the amount of money for PHCN. I actually know, to my own understanding of knowledge, on the second question, it is being fixed inside the compound and it's being monitored. They're able to monitor how the meter is being used, how electricity is being generated, how it's being used each month. You can have the idea of how much you'll be paying next for your electricity bill.
I don't really know much about electricity meters. What I heard is they are only giving it to those that have the money before they give it to them. What I know is that it is cash and carry. If you don't have the money, you shouldn't go near it. I'm talking about electricity meters prepaid. Then about the handling, I don't really know much also, because when I asked my partner then, what he told me is that it is only those that are in charge of our local governments that are in charge of the handling. I don't even know if it is available or not, because there was a time where they said that it is when it is available that they always distribute it. But at the moment, I don't really know much about meter handling.
This electricity meter of a thing, my only understanding about it is some kind of device that do measure the amount of electricity that is being used per household or by office or by a company. Whereas that case of meter handling, it has to do with how do I get to load my meter, how do I get to know how much do I still have reserved in my meter. With that I will still be able to at least monitor my meter usage as well, the amount of electricity in which I'm being used, that is being used by me and my household. Thank you.
Yes, it's still Power Connect show on Naija FM 102.7. You hear people, the thing where people they talk. Different strokes for different folks. Some people know some people know a little, some people know much. But a large majority of the consumers or the users of meters know little. I want to ask my guests as an intro. why you think say people know they show interest for the meter wey dem dey use, whether the meter whether na single phase or 3 phase or whether na industrial, they just put the meter there and load that. Why do you think people don't know much about their meters?
Well, actually, meter is a very important component of electricity distribution and consumption. On both sides of the device, it's important to the provider, that's the distribution company, as well as the customer, the person who is consuming the electricity. Because the absence of meter is what causes most of the problems that we have today. If meter is there, thank God one of the respondents mentioned that meter is the instrument of monitoring and measuring the consumption. In fact, that's the key of what you consume. So I believe that naturally people should be interested in knowing how to handle such things. For example, I'll give you an example that happened to even personally to me some years back. Somebody came, one of the marketers of one of the distribution companies came to my house and he was telling me, and that's what we even expect from most of these marketers, go there and educate people. He told me, he said, sir, your consumption is high. It's getting high. You can't control it. And you know what it is? And that's why we are advising customers today. You can control your consumption of electricity
if they know how to handle it adequately.
Exactly. The example I'm giving is that I have somebody in my house, a lady, who was not working. So when I go out of the house, she puts on the AC. So what I did was I made sure I kept the remote of the AC. I kept it, so you cannot put on the AC without the remote. Do you know that that's at that time I forced my electricity consumption from 13,000 naira monthly then to 4,000.
So you can save a lot of money.
You can save a lot of money.
So there are a lot of advantages if you have knowledge about handling.
Even so, there are some devices, there are some electrical devices that don't consume much, like your freezer. But even then, when the freezer is too freeze, you can still reduce your consumption by putting it off occasionally.
All right. Let's hold it there. I have so much to actually offer our listeners today. We also did some work, background work. We go lecture. I told you earlier that we are having a class after which you ask questions. So let's get to know what other issues are raised in this meter. The knowledge about meter.
Against the backdrop of the important role played by meters in the power utility supply chain and the knowledge deficit displayed by many about meter functions and uses, we also sought the views of a metering expert, Engineer Muyiwa Akinkunmi. His very educative views are presented in a 2-part series of the Power Connect show starting from this week. First, Engineer Akinkunmi explains the different kinds of meters that we have and their functions.
Well, meter can be classified under 4 categories. Depends on their use. So I will mention 4 of them as 1, mode of payments. A mode of payment means how do you pay for the electricity you consume. Is it postpaid? That means postpaid means that you pay after you have used the electricity. And we have meters they are called credit meters that is read once every month. And after the meter is read for that month, bill is sent to you. So that is what is called a credit meter or postpaid meter. And then we have another one they call the debit meter or prepaid meter. Prepaid meter is pay as you use. That means you buy electricity before you use. So that is a debit meter or prepaid meter. You buy energy before you use in form of token, which you input into your meter before you use. Then the second one, we can classify a meter on the basis of technology. Another type of meter is on the basis of technology. What we have one they call electromechanical meter. And I won't bug you with a lot of the technology behind that. Electromechanical meters are just meters that are used for postpaid payments. They are for postpaid payment. That means they are the one that you read the energy or the digital, the readout every month, and on the difference is what you are billed every month. Then on the basis of technology, the second one is electronic meter. We have electronic meters as well that are for postpaid, and electronic meter that are for prepaid. So we have, on the basis of technology, we have the one for electromechanical, and you have the electronic type. On the basis of load means how much consumption you are taking. How much load are just, for instance, how many ceiling fan do you have? How many bulb do you have? How many ACs and the rest of them? That is your load. So on the basis of load as well, we have what is called maximum demand meter, which is used for industrial customer, commercial customer, and some household that are very big mansion with more than, for instance, close to 10, 15, 20 air conditioners. You need a maximum demand meter. And the second one is non-maximum demand meter, non-MD. So that means it's a load that is less than, I don't want to use too many grammar here or technical terms, that is less than what a maximum demand meter will carry. So on the basis of load, we have the maximum demand meter and we have the non-maximum demand meters. So on the mode of supply, that's another category. The mode of supply, we have what is called a low voltage, single phase, which are single phase, and the three-phase meter. And the second one there is high voltage. We call it high tension. For low voltage, this is the one we found in our household. This is where all of us, we are connected. And this is where our meters are installed. This is the type of meter that you find in homes, the low voltage side. Then we have the high voltage or high tension type of meters. This, as I said, they are for industrial loads, heavy loads, and of course some domestic customers with a load very high that ordinary low voltage meters will not carry.
Reports from customers indicate that cases of burnt meters are on the increase in recent time. What can be the possible causes of this? Again, Engineer Kekomi provides some clue to this.
Yeah, a meter may get burnt for, let's say, about three reasons. I may group it into three. One, at the point of application. Many customers are not sincere when they are applying for a meter. They will not declare the exact appliances they have in their houses, or appliances that are expected to be put or to be used in their house. They want to they always beat it down. It's never accurate. So imagine a household that is having maybe about 5-10 ACs, and when you are applying, you are presenting 5 ACs. What do you think? And of course, at a point in time, you might use all the 10 ACs at the same time. Now, what do you think will happen to that meter when you are supposed to be given a three-phase meter? Because of the load you declared, the appliances numbers you declared, you are issued or you are given a single phase meter. What do you think will happen to that meter? It will get burnt. So at the point of application, if the load or the number of appliances in that house are expected to be used in that house is not declared, meter will get burnt because that meter will be overloaded at the end of the day. Then secondly, at the point of installation, if an unexperienced or uncertified meter installer installed the meter and the meter is not installed properly, for instance, you use underrated cable sizes. We are expected to use 16 mm, the installer used 10 mm. What do you expect? The cable will overheat. Invariably, the cable gets burnt and the burnt is spread to the meter. Also, at the point of installation, when an uncertified installer installs the meter and there are loose contacts everywhere, when there are loose contacts, what do you expect? Spark comes in. When there are sparks, what do you expect? The meter is ignited and fire spread to the meter and to the cable. So the meter will get burnt. And lastly, I would say even the usage as well. The usage, in this part of the world, we do whatever we like. In this part of the world, you buy, for instance, maybe what you declare, you initially, at the point of application, you declare the correct number of appliances. But during the time you're living in that environment, in that house, you acquired other appliances. Instead of the customer or the resident to now tell the utility, I've just added 2 deep freezers or 4 ACs. Nobody goes back to the utility to say that. And you want to use that same, the appliances you just acquired, you are still using them. You want to use them on already overstretched meter. So because of that, the meter get burnt because you have already overloaded the meter. The appliances that were not part of what you declared initially, you are now using it with those ones that are already there, and the meter is already overstretched. So the meter will get burnt.
Oh yes, that's the end of the class. Engineer Muyiwa Kinkumi has done a yeoman's job. Great job educating us. Now, students, I'm sorry for the use of our listeners. Were you part of that lecture? This is the time for you to actually ask questions. Let's know how much understanding you made of that lecture. Now, what has been your experience? Have you had a case of burnt meters in your homes? And what's responsible for it? My studio guest, as I'm talking about Mr. Adeyanju, people have experiences of burnt meters. And the reasons have just been explained. Now, it starts from the installer, how certified it is. Do people actually are they meticulous in searching for the right person to install their meter? Why do people just pick roadside?
Well, that's a very good question, and that's a question that should be thrown back to the people. Well, I think we really need to
permit me to just call the numbers to reach us with on this show. 081 001 30349.
Yeah.
Or you can also
just
reach
like
081 82 12 0734. 081 82 12 0734 or 081 001 30349. Let's share your experience. Do you have a meter at all? Why don't you have? And if you have meters, how are you handling it in your home to ensure efficiency and durability and integrity that that should be brought into it? So let's see.
Yeah. So what we're saying is that people should be interested in managing. It's not only meter. I think it happens to other
aspects of our lives.
Especially what people term government property, right? So meter is the property of a company that is providing electricity into your home. So you should be interested in making sure that is properly taken care of. Number one, as our teacher has already told us, Engineer Kikumi, right from the installation, you ensure that you don't use quack to install your meter. Make sure that you use certified installer, a Koren registered electrician, to do the installation for you, because the problem starts from there. Once the meter is not properly installed, then the problem, it can get burnt. Then another thing again is that people, what I would term, cutting corners, right? For example, if you have a house, you have equipment in your house, and God now blesses you more, and you had additional equipment into what you have in the house, the onus lies on you to inform electricity producer, so that you see they can, if the load of the additional load is more powerful than that meter. For example, you have a single phase meter in your house, and now you have 1 or 2 air conditioner. Now you have adding about 4 or 5 air conditioner. Automatically, the meter will not be able to carry that load. So that's one of the reasons why meters get burnt. So the onus lies on the customer to open up to the provider
to declare
whatever you have added, so that they can, upgrade your meter. There are laws that single phase meters will not be able to carry. Even we have single phase, 3 phase. There are places, I have seen a house where about 12 air conditioners are installed. That kind of place, even the 3 phase meter will not carry it. So we have to upgrade that to it's a home, a private house, but then we have what we call maximum demand meter. Automatically, if you have about 12-15 air conditioner in your house, there's no way a 3 phase meter will carry it. So we have to upgrade to a maximum demand.
This knowledge deficit or knowledge gap that we experience here, I do not want to apportion. Is it as a result of insufficient or inadequate enlightenment? As we speak, people are applying for meters, single phase, 3 phase, depending on their knowledge, level of their knowledge. How much education is available to the users of?
You see,
before they actually apply.
Well, I would not blame somebody does the wiring in your house,
okay,
right? So I think the knowledge is not. It doesn't start from the owner of the house, but from the person that is doing the electrical connection. So the onus lies on them, your electrician, to tell you, to advise on the type of meter you have to get, because there's what you have to look at the load demand in that house. As a certified electrician, you should be able to know and advise that this particular load that you are putting, a single phase will not be able to carry it. You have to, what you go for is 3 phase meter. If you are putting 15 air conditioner in your house, it's your own, your personal house, 3 phase meter will not be able to carry. It just lies on that installer or the electrician to advise this is the type of meter that you should put in the house. So, well, basically, it might not be.
There are cases whereby the meters are already acquired by the owner of the house before the installer is invited to finish the work. So in such cases,
no. You see, meter is
apply. Then they will now invite
the
supposed electrician, the professional, so to speak, to now conclude the work.
At the point
what should be the process?
At the point of applying for a meter,
you should involve.
In fact, the electrician is involved. Your electrician is involved. Is the one that will know the type of load that you are putting, and that has to be indicated in your application form.
That's a very good place
that's the determination of the meter that you are supposed to get.
Professional advice.
Exactly.
You
can't even fill application form for meter
without the support, without input.
Without input of a current registered electrician. He has to sign based on the load that you are using.
Thank you very much, my guest, Mr. Kwekun Adeyanju. Of course, you have also added much more value to what Engineer Muyiwa Kekumi has said so far. That's to tell you that we need as much knowledge as we can. I'm talking about listeners now, the users particularly. I'm referring particularly to the users of EKEDC meters, that is customers of EKEDC, that they should be diligent in their approach in terms of application and then in installation to ensure that the meter delivers optimally. That's our goal on this program, to continue to educate you on how to enjoy the services of the electricity utility providers, EKEDC, to the maximum. Thank you very much, our guests, for your time and your thoughts. We appreciate you so much. We also appreciate
It's my pleasure to be here.
Thank you very much. We also appreciate Engineer Muyiwa Kekumi for his brilliant presentation. And kudos to our diaspora producer, ABC, for his input on today's edition of the program. I'd like to acknowledge the brilliant support of our producer, OTB here, and of course the diaspora producer, Osam. Thank you very much. That's our package today on the program. Next week is another edition. It's still Power Connect Show. See you next week. My name is Banji Busari. Bye-bye.
Oníbàárà Èkó Disco wa pàtàkì, jọ̀wọ́ lọ sí www.ekedp.com/sts kó o sì tẹ nọ́mbà mítà tó ń lò lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ síbẹ̀ láti mọ̀ bóyá mítà rẹ lẹ́tọ̀ọ́ láti sún sókè sí ẹ̀dà STS2. Tí mítà rẹ bá lẹ́tọ̀ọ́, a ó tún padà kàn sí ọ.